Today, let's explore together how to approach mental exhaustion recovery through the latest neuroscience discoveries. If you've been feeling like your brain is running on empty, struggling with decisions that used to be simple, or finding yourself emotionally reactive to small situations, you're not alone. Recent research has revealed fascinating insights about how mental exhaustion actually changes our brain structure and function, and more importantly, how we can reverse these changes using evidence-based methods. Today, I chose this theme because mental exhaustion has become increasingly common in our hyperconnected world, and the latest neuroscience offers us powerful tools for genuine recovery. Current research suggests that mental exhaustion isn't just feeling tired, it creates measurable changes in brain structure and function. A university research team discovered through EEG studies that prolonged mental exertion leads to sleep-like cortical dynamics during our waking hours, particularly in the frontal cortex responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation. This explains why mentally exhausted people often experience impaired judgment and increased irritability. Recent brain imaging studies found that chronic mental stress reduces connectivity in the prefrontal cortex by up to 50%. The prefrontal cortex is our brain's executive center, managing functions like working memory, attention control, and emotional regulation. When this connectivity decreases, we experience what researchers call executive dysfunction, difficulty making decisions, managing emotions, and maintaining focus. A research institution's systematic review found that mentally exhausted individuals lose functional connectivity between the amygdala, our brain's alarm system, and the medial prefrontal cortex, which normally provides inhibitory control over emotional responses. This disconnection leads to heightened emotional reactivity and reduced self-control, explaining why small stressors can feel overwhelming when we're mentally drained. However, there's encouraging news from neuroscience research. Studies demonstrate that the brain's remarkable plasticity allows for complete reversal of exhaustion-induced changes. Recovery sleep research shows that during restorative sleep, delta wave activity increases by approximately 50%, directly correlating with restored prefrontal function. These slow brain waves during sleep act like a washing system, clearing metabolic waste and restoring neural connections. A research institution's meta-analysis of mindfulness interventions showed effect sizes of 0.8 or higher for improving cognitive performance and reducing mental fatigue. This means that mindfulness practices produce large, clinically significant improvements in brain function for mentally exhausted individuals. Recent longitudinal studies followed individuals practicing evidence-based recovery protocols and found 70% improvement in cognitive function within 4 weeks, with brain imaging confirming restored neural connectivity. These findings suggest that targeted interventions can literally rewire our brains for renewed energy and clarity. Now let's explore the practical methods that research has shown to be most effective for mental exhaustion recovery. The first method is what I call neuroplasticity-based recovery protocol. Begin each morning with 10 minutes of focused breathing to activate prefrontal restoration. Research shows this timing maximizes cortisol regulation and initiates neural repair processes. Practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, then exhale for 8 counts. This pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and recovery. The extended exhale particularly helps reduce cortisol levels and promotes the brain state optimal for neural repair. The second method involves strategic energy management using ultradian rhythms. Research has identified that our brains naturally cycle through periods of high and low alertness approximately every 90 minutes. To optimize cognitive performance and prevent neural fatigue accumulation, schedule your most demanding mental tasks during your natural energy peaks, typically in the morning for most people. After every 90 minutes of focused work, take a deliberate 10 to 15-minute break. During these breaks, engage in activities that give your prefrontal cortex a rest. Go for a walk, practice breathing exercises, or simply gaze out a window. Studies confirm this prevents the sleep-like cortical waves that impair decision-making capacity. The third method focuses on recovery sleep optimization. Quality sleep is essential for mental recovery, but it's not just about duration, it's about maximizing delta wave production. Delta waves are the slow brain waves that occur during deep sleep and are crucial for neural restoration. To enhance delta wave production, maintain consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends. Keep your bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, as cooler temperatures promote deeper sleep. Avoid screens for at least 2 hours before bedtime, as blue light suppresses melatonin production and disrupts sleep architecture. Research demonstrates that optimizing these factors can increase prefrontal recovery by 50%. The fourth method is mindfulness-based neural training. Daily mindfulness practice has been shown to increase prefrontal cortex thickness and strengthen the connections between the prefrontal cortex and amygdala. Start with 15-minute daily sessions focusing on present moment awareness without judgment. Begin with body scan techniques, systematically noticing sensations throughout your body without trying to change anything. This practice helps retrain your attention and reduces the default mode network activity associated with rumination and mental fatigue. As you progress, you can move to open awareness meditation, where you simply observe whatever arises in your consciousness without getting caught up in thoughts or emotions. The fifth method involves physical movement for brain recovery. Moderate aerobic exercise for 30 minutes, 5 times weekly, stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which enhances neuroplasticity and reverses stress-induced brain changes. Walking in natural environments provides additional cognitive restoration benefits through what researchers call attention restoration theory. Nature exposure reduces activity in the default mode network, allowing your brain's executive networks to recover. Even a 20-minute walk in a park or tree-lined street can significantly improve cognitive function and reduce mental fatigue. The final method is cognitive load management through strategic decision-making. Use what I call the 2-minute rule for daily decisions. If a decision can be made in under 2 minutes, make it immediately. For more complex decisions, schedule dedicated thinking time rather than carrying them around as mental burden. This preserves your prefrontal resources for essential functions and prevents the cognitive overload that contributes to mental exhaustion. Additionally, batch similar decisions together, such as planning all your meals for the week at once rather than deciding what to eat multiple times daily. To summarize what we discussed today, let me share 6 key points for mental exhaustion recovery. First, mental exhaustion creates sleep-like brainwaves during wakefulness, particularly in the frontal cortex responsible for decision-making and emotional control. Second, recovery sleep increases delta waves by 50% for neural restoration, making quality sleep essential for brain recovery. Third, mindfulness training rebuilds prefrontal amygdala connections, helping restore emotional regulation and cognitive control within weeks of practice. Fourth, working in 90-minute cycles prevents cognitive fatigue accumulation by respecting your brain's natural ultradian rhythms. Fifth, moderate exercise stimulates brain recovery factor production, specifically BDNF, which enhances the brain's ability to form new neural connections. Sixth, strategic rest timing maximizes neuroplasticity activation, meaning when you rest is just as important as how much you rest. Your brain's remarkable plasticity means that complete recovery from mental exhaustion isn't just possible, it's scientifically inevitable when you apply these evidence-based methods consistently. The latest neuroscience research proves that within weeks, you can rebuild stronger neural connections and restore optimal cognitive function. Remember that recovery is a process, not a destination, and small consistent actions compound into significant changes over time. Be patient with yourself as your brain reorganizes and strengthens these new neural pathways. If today's discussion provided any support or new insights, please hit the like button to help this content reach others who might benefit from it. If you'd like to continue learning about mental health and neuroscience together, please subscribe to stay updated with the latest research-based approaches. May your hearts feel a little lighter, and may you find the energy and clarity you deserve. Thank you for listening until the end today, and remember that every step you take toward recovery is rewiring your brain for a healthier, more resilient future.